14-game winning streak on the line here for the A's. The front runners in the American League West right now 3-0. Swung
What is going on, everybody? Welcome officially to the first episode of Small Market Baseball, small-time convos for big-time fans. We're bringing it to you guys today because birds of a feather talk ball together. I'm Jaiman White. I'm joined by my co-hosts Paul, DG Demanigold, and Garrett Pelkoffer. Boys, what's going on?
No, not too much.
Yeah, just ready to talk baseball.
That's right.
Living the dream.
Making it happen. So just kind of little introduction real quick to who we are and what we do. This kind of got born out of I wasn't doing enough outside of work and outside of my norm, and I was like, dude, we got to get something going.
That's right.
This is a wasted talent if it's not used. So I'm a some would say world renowned, certainly I would. I'm a world-renowned high school journalist, 11-time school newspaper online award recipient.
Look at
that. And I write for Bucks Dugout for SB Nation. Shout out to them on the side. And just love talking ball, love talking sports. I've done podcasting before, and now we're bringing it to you in an all-new medium. So we're excited to be doing it. That's me. Let's kick it to Garrett, who's I know has some experience as well.
I am just some idiot. I have been told that I have a good personality for a podcast, and I enjoy baseball. I was tricked by the 2012 Pirates into believing that my franchise could actually accomplish something. They thought that their 3 years of relevance would turn me into a lifelong fan, and it absolutely worked. And yeah, I'm out here trying to know ball, so that's about all I got.
Garrett knows ball.
I know ball. I was briefly a journalism major. I was among my class favorites at the Community College of Allegheny County.
Nice.
Other than that, that was about it. That's about it for me. I switched my major to general studies, and the rest is history. But those 2 semesters of the journalism major really made me who I am today.
Nice. Yeah. All right. So
Paul, follow DG. That up, dude.
I'll try my best. New to podcasting, so this is new for me. Be a little nervous, but I'm excited. Talk baseball, everything like that. So
yeah, sweet. And for those who don't know, who are not keeping track, me and Garrett are from Pittsburgh. DG's from Montana, but I work with DG now because we're in the Air Force in Las Vegas. And he has the most infectious and sadistic personality at anyone that ever. He could sell ice to an Eskimo, and if he tells you something, you're going to believe it because he's that darn good at it. So when he runs for president one day, he's going to have a lot of suckers fooled, and I can't wait.
It is weird being the only civilian on the podcast, but I'm excited for it.
I know you have a great beard, long hair, and everything, dude.
I know I'm the big hippie of the group.
Got live, laugh, love in the background.
Mm-hmm. Oh yeah, exactly. That's my motto, fellas.
Heck yeah, we love it. So yeah, we're here talking ball, and a lot of this started because we were looking for an angle and kind of what stands out about what we want to talk about. We're going to talk about all things baseball, but we wanted to give the little guys their due, So small market baseball, that's our thing. Small time convos for big time fans. And I guess, guys, I just want to open up the floor and, what is a small market team? What does that concept look like in Major League Baseball? Garrett, I'll kick it to you. You're wearing an A's hat. I'm wearing a Pirates hat. So we know all too well what it is.
It's so You're Charlie Brown, and you're gonna kick that football this year. It's happening, and that's how it is every year. There's a hat that I love that I want to buy, and it's Jamin. I don't know if you've seen it. It's designed to look like a mesh back trucker hat from like the '70s, and it's the Pittsburgh Pirates will be better next year. Because it's the same hat that has said the same thing since the '70s, and that's life as a Bucco fan. It is gonna get better at some point. I will see the Pirates win a World Series before I die. I'm 25. We're gonna get there. Maybe not today, but someday. So as a small market fan, it's trying to find hope in some kid that's tearing it up in Double A rather than some $300 million free agent signing. So it's trying to, win in the margins and find the small victories that lead to a better team that may end up being gutted 2 years from now. But the time you have now is going to be fantastic as a winner. So.
Yeah, no, I couldn't have said it any better myself. DG,
how can you not be romantic about baseball?
How can you not be? DG, you're from a corner of the world you're isolated anyway, dude. You're small. You're as small market as it gets.
Yeah,
no
exactly.
baseball teams in Montana.
None. I mean, we got little teams here and there, but yeah, we're small market as it comes. And, exactly. Just giving a little guy a little hope,
Yeah, so. That's what we're aiming to do. So for the Oaklands out there, for the Pittsburghs, for the Kansas Cities, who else? The St. Louis's. I'd even dare say the Los Angeles Angels of Anaheim are a small market team.
It's the Anaheim, not the Los Angeles. But
no. So that's what we're doing. And, we're going to open it up more, just kind of, more of what that looks like. Garrett, this is a question that I've been wrestling with for a while now, and I saw they talked about it on a segment on MLB Network. How do you differentiate small market between big market? And does it have anything to do with the market at all, or is it all about rich owners and cheap owners?
I mean, the answer to me is San Diego, because if you look at the Padres, it's market wise, it's not a huge market, especially compared to what they're spending on the free agency. But they got deep pockets, and it's really just it's a combination of both, because you, especially anymore, rarely see those large market teams that really tend to cheap out. But especially in Pittsburgh, and especially growing up with the Pirates, it has just been incredibly frustrating. Like, what do we do? Like, it's just, you have an owner that refuses to spend money, even when it's logical, even when it makes sense, and just rely on other factors, just rely on the sentimental value of baseball in the summertime to attract fans. And in the case of Pittsburgh, a fantastic ballpark. Like, I don't know. It's just, to me, it speaks mostly to the owner, because so often with the right owner in place, you can immediately see changes, and we're doomed.
We could sell the team right now, and I'd have no issues with that. I don't think so.
As long as we stay in Pittsburgh, you can sell the team to my dad. I don't care. It doesn't.
Yeah, no doubt. It's a heartbreaker for sure. DG, your thoughts on it?
I mean, yeah, exactly. I agree with 100% with what Garrett's saying. I mean, pretty much took the words right out of my mouth. Like, not much else to really go on. Like, this is the main thing is the owners, really. I mean, like from small market to big market, it's not money. It's all it is about that money. So,
yeah, no doubt. Of course, baseball is one of those sports where there is no salary cap. There's no, spending limit. So when owners, if they choose to, can go out and spend as much as they want, they're more than likely building a team to succeed. There have been instances, of course, where teams have cheaped it up and have succeeded exponentially. We'll talk a little Moneyball in a sec. There are teams who spent huge, like the New York Mets last year, and didn't even sniff the postseason. So it's a strange balancing act. I'm optimistic talking about Pirates baseball because I think there are some pieces. I think some money's being thrown around uncharacteristically. Um, by golly, it's a nice change, dude. You know what I'm saying?
No, the trend is up. The trend
Yeah.
is up. We were just talking about Pittsburgh with the Pirates and the Penguins and the Steelers being in this like just hell of the middle. They're not rebuilding. They're not competing. At the very least, the Pirates have a direction, and by God, after all this time, it's up. So
Who thought it'd be them?
I know. Who'd have thunk it? Look at us. It's springtime, and I'm optimistic for Pittsburgh sports. What's going on here?
Yeah. Strange. I'm coming in for opening day. I couldn't be more excited. That was one of my Christmas gifts. I'm so happy about it. So, yeah, strange. But on the flip side, of course, there are markets like us and like Oakland who don't always have the most money to throw around. But of course, Garrett, I'll let you take lead on this one. There was a historic season and a historic philosophy that took over baseball that started in Oakland and, led to a historic run, if you want to break that down for everybody.
I mean, well, of course, Moneyball, the classic Brad Pitt film. But it was a fundamental rethinking of baseball that has it changed the way we look at things and brought analytics to the forefront. But the big thing that ultimately came of it now, as you can see kind of more in modern baseball, is that everyone's now looking at those things.
Mm-hmm.
It is now finding the new Moneyball. It is now real because those analytics that at the time, he gets on base. At the time, that was groundbreaking thinking. That thinking is 23 years old now. So it is now really a matter of finding the new ways to get ahead, which is now easier than ever because of all the resources for everything for, smaller market clubs, but also more difficult than ever because you have access to so much data, as do all these teams. And you're trying to be the one to be the smartest and the fastest because you certainly aren't going to be there with the deepest pockets.
No, absolutely not. And yeah, at the time, it was groundbreaking, laughed at, appalled, and it worked. They left some key details out in the movie, like they had one of the best rotations.
Yeah,
in all of
Hudson
baseball,
Mulder lights out, but for sure, it's because of Hatterberg. Yeah, let's
it's
go
all
with that.
because of Scott Hatterberg, dude.
Yeah, exactly. It wasn't 1, 2, 3. Every single. But yeah, it's been interesting to see. I mean, yeah, I don't know. Because it just feels like it just has to evolve now because the game is I mean, it's changing. There are so many changes happening, but there's at the end of the day, organizations have to find ways to compete, and sometimes the lack of compete within these organizations is jarring, especially as a Pirate fan.
Yeah, no doubt. I mean, we were talking at work the other day about basketball, and I'm like, I can't believe it took dudes this long to find out 3 points is more than 2.
Exactly. It took baseball leadership 80 years to determine that walks were a good thing, and that it wasn't like it really like some of it is just shocking when you really think about it. Like, but yeah, as we edge closer to the 3 true outcomes, it's not exclusively the 3 true outcomes. It's shocking that it took that long to even get there.
Yeah, no doubt. And DG, I know you're a superstar athlete, And if you had to make the decision tomorrow, sometimes, New York, LA, Chicago, Houston, that just sounds more attractive than Pittsburgh or Oakland or Tampa Bay, teams like that.
I don't know what you're talking about. Pittsburgh's a great vacation destination.
Up north there, huh?
Oh yeah, it's beautiful.
Sure beats Cleveland.
Oh,
exactly. Yeah, we have almost 40 days of sunshine a year.
That's
fantastic.
But yeah, no. So it's incredible to see how far the game has come. Also, how long it's taken the game. Um, it's no secret that star athletes, though, if they have the choice, they're going to go where the money's at. They're going to go where the sunshine is at, more than likely. DG, I know you're content to stream and some fly fishing. Garrett, I know you
Yeah,
dabble in some of the same, but I'm not gonna lie, dude. If the Dodgers call me tomorrow, and we're like, "Hey, we got a spot for you, AAA roster." I don't even know where the AAA team is. I think it's Salt Lake City. Or no, that's the Angels, but wherever they're at,
It was Albuquerque for a while with
it was
at the
Albuquerque.
yeah.
Simpsons, the
But
Simpsons team, my favorite.
if they called me, I'd be like, dude, heck yes. Go soak up some sunshine in LA, dude. Go rub elbows with movie stars. Of course. Why wouldn't you want to do that? Um, that's why we play the game. That's why we compete. That's why we go out there and get that, glimmer of hope that something might be different this year, but most of the time it is not. So, but that's why we do it. Just talking about markets, New York, LA, Pittsburgh, Oakland, etc. Come in all shapes and sizes. But regardless of that, the game is bigger than ever. It's on a worldwide scale, a worldwide media market that is being expanded constantly. And there's been more talks recently than I could ever remember about MLB expansion. Quickly, we're going to talk about the relocation of some franchises, namely the Oakland Athletics, who, DG, we're seeing billboards for it all the time. It's been on the Sphere. They're
It's
coming to
everywhere.
Vegas. They're coming to
Yeah.
Vegas. I read something a couple of weeks ago. The mayor of Las Vegas, she is adamant that the A's do not come to Vegas. That she does not think it makes sense, at least not to go down to the Strip, where they're planning on building their new stadium. She wanted North Vegas. She wanted something off the Strip, away for native Vegas people and that kind of thing. DG, I've spent the last 2 years in Vegas. You spent what, the last 4 or 5 here?
Yeah, about 4 years here now.
So
Yeah.
what are your
I
thoughts
got
on
3 whole days.
Yeah, heck yeah, dude. What are your thoughts on the A's coming to Vegas and making the Strip their new home?
I'm mixed feelings about that. Oakland, that's their city, that's their team. It's hard to see them go. But new location, it'll maybe bring some new fans. I think it's ultimately a good move. But yeah, we'll see.
Garrett, got anything to counter that?
I mean, so I'm in the same space as DG. I'm torn. I love the Oakland Athletics. I think I love their history. I love their uniforms. There's a couple players that I really, enjoy, that I like. It's ultimately, it's sad because it is an organization, because ultimately, there you go. As
There
we
we go.
move,
There, yeah.
it's hard because, like, these organizations, as they relocate, they're not going to seek out smaller markets. Like, there's not going to be another Oakland Athletics. That's just a great market that lost its team. On the flip side, it makes sense. Baseball in Vegas is good for the sport. I mean, you have one of an incredibly quick growing market. I mean, the Golden Knights have been incredibly successful there. The Raiders have fit in pretty well. I think it makes financial and logical sense to put a team in Vegas. I just wish it didn't happen at the cost of Oakland.
Yeah.
I respect everything that organization has built. Having been there, I love that building. It's a dump, but it's cool. There's something cool about just an absolute just dung heap of a building that just keeps on going. And so, I respect so much about the Oakland Athletics. I love their fan base. The boycott that they had really spoke volumes, but at the end of the day, it leads to nothing. The money will win out. And very quickly, the Oakland Athletics will go from a small market organization to a large, a big market team, because they have so much more money. And so if you purely just like the logo, that's great. But if you're from Oakland and you followed this team and you've dedicated your entire childhood and adult years to following this team, it really sucks. You get to go watch them be happy somewhere else.
Yeah, no doubt. And me and Garrett, we actually went to an Oakland game last year just to see what it was all about, dude. And it
Watching
was
get smacked around by the Phillies.
yes, it was not competitive. It
Yeah,
was probably
the game we went to, first pitch, Kyle Schwarber hit a ball about 480 feet. They were down 1 from the get-go, and it never got better.
oh yeah. We came into work on Monday or Tuesday, whatever it was, and I was telling our expediter about it. And she's from Philadelphia. She's like, "Yeah, it was a Schwarber," and I was like, "Yeah, it was hard to watch."
Yeah, they learned the hard way.
But it was an incredible trip. It was an incredible atmosphere. It was probably a month or so, maybe a little less than that after the reverse boycotts started.
No, it was like a week. It was very recent afterwards.
Was it that recent?
Yeah, it was. I want to say it was within a week or two of the first one. I know there were multiple.
Yeah, so still fresh in everyone's mind then.
Mm-hmm.
It was an incredible experience going to that arena, going to the Oakland Coliseum and seeing that. We played the Moneyball theme right as we pulled up. It was, how can you not be romantic about baseball?
Yeah.
So, for those reasons, like personal reasons and the attachment that I now have to the team, and people ask me all the time. We have a buddy at work who asks me, why do you love the A's? Because they're losers. I love it.
Yeah. Yeah.
But,
I get that they suck. That's cool. Like
it's their thing.
Yeah, exactly.
And I can identify with it. The Pirates are losers too. They're basically just the West Coast version of the Pirates, in my opinion.
Mm-hmm.
So I'll ride or die with them. I'm not excited for the move to Vegas. I know it's unlocking a new fan base and media space and all those things. There's just so much that's going to have to happen. It's going to be on the Strip. It's going to be crowded. It's going to be the smallest ballpark in the MLB, despite it being the newest, which I think is crazy, but they're fighting for space on the Strip. It's probably going to have to be a dome because a June, July, August game is going to be unbearable. I hate baseball stadiums that are domes. And, they're leaving Oakland. I got cornered by a guy in the gas station. I was wearing my A's track jacket, and he was from Oakland. He's like, "Hey, man, I love that jacket. Are you an A's fan?" I was like, "Yeah, I love the A's." He's like, "Oh, man, that's awesome. Yeah, I got to get one." I'm like, "Are you excited they're coming here?" He's like, "Absolutely not. I wanted them to stay in Oakland. I loved going back and forth and seeing them every year. Family connection, blah, blah, blah." And I think it's going to be not a failed experiment, but it's going to be one that I think just isn't going to sit right with a lot of people. And it's kind of like the end of an era type of thing, because it's like, if this is the motivation for teams, if they're not going to be competitive, well then, hey, let's at least be in the nicest city possible. Who's to say other teams don't jump ship and do the same thing? There's not going to be a million Vegas teams, obviously, but there's places for them to go.
Well, and that leads me to a question for both of you guys, since you're in Vegas. I mean, I know the response to the Golden Knights has been insane.
Mm-hmm.
And
yeah.
Big team that was given to them. That's not a relocation. That's not someone else's team that moved, versus the Raiders, who have had kind of a harder time because feeling like that's not their team. What do you guys think about that? Like, how will they fit in? Do you think the people of Vegas will be happy for another relocation, or do you think it's just going to feel like somebody else's team?
I think for the most part, I think people will be happy. It's a new team coming in. And Las Vegas they show a lot of support for their teams here. And you got the Raiders, and then the Knights, obviously, coming off the Stanley Cup. I mean, they showed a lot of love, and I think be a lot more fans.
Yeah, I think it's going to be interesting. Like I said earlier, DG's been in Vegas a little bit longer than I have. Since being here, my first reaction and interaction with people that are from here, they love the Golden Knights. They're absolutely obsessed with them. Everyone's got it on their license plates and their trucks and their yards, whatever. If they can smack a Knights logo somewhere, they've got it. And I think to your point, Garrett, it's their team. It's 100% theirs. It's the first of the four major sports that made it their home. along with the WNBA's Aces, who are now champions as well. Seeing the Raiders, I went to a Raider game last year. Granted, it was against the Chargers, which is a divisional rival, but a fair weather fan base of their own. There was just as much blue and gold in there as there was black and silver. Which, Garrett, if that was our stadium, we wouldn't let that happen. All right,
it wouldn't. But also,
black and gold everywhere.
But also, if it was the Coliseum, that wouldn't be happening. It's hard not to feel like Al Davis isn't turning over in his grave with his stadium being like that.
No, absolutely not. So I think in that respect, because it's not Vegas's team necessarily, it's a fair weather fan base. Either they're doing great, they're winning, and everyone's loving them, or they're losing. They're like, hey, let's go to the slots, that kind of thing. And I think it's going to be similar with the A's. We know the roster's not going to be good. It's going to be another couple of years before there's a stadium there, and I think a lot of the steam and momentum is just going to plateau to where it's like, oh, well, let's go watch a baseball game, I guess. There's not going to be cheap tickets. They're going to be, right on Tropicana, I think, down there near T-Mobile. So it's not going to be your everyday kind of Sunday thing like, oh, well, let's go to the ballpark, And I don't think it's going to be the same with tourism as well. I think it's going to be a vastly different experience. But who's to say they don't make it work, But I think you need to build a winner, though, to get people excited.
Yeah, and to be fair, the Golden Knights have been pretty good pretty quick, and Oakland is just kind of pitter-pattered around. So I think if the second, the Athletics start to turn the corner, all of a sudden it will really start to feel like Vegas' team.
Yeah, and we'll see. We have a friend at work who got here a little bit before me and was here for the Raiders playoff game that they had against Cincinnati, I think it was, that they played in the playoffs a couple years ago. Huge buzz. There was, watch parties outside the stadium and everything, and the strip was going crazy. So if they can build a winner, then people will be excited. And we have the AAA affiliate is here as well, the Aviators. Shout out DG with the clean hat.
Nice.
And they have a very nice ballpark, and they have fans come out all the time, and it's a good time. But again, that's their team, more than anything. So we'll see what Oakland can bring. Nice. As long as someone comes out to Enter Sandman as their walkout song, then it might be okay.
Who's closing for Oakland right now? I can't think of it off the top of my head.
Oh, dude, I can't think of enough dudes who play for the Oakland Athletics.
I know.
Let alone close.
You remember watching that bullpen being like, I don't even know who that is. Like trying to figure it out.
They only went through like 6 pitchers that game, dude.
I know, exactly. But it was funny because they were playing the Phillies. So, the Phillies got Kimbrel pitching in the 7th inning because they're so loaded. And Oakland's just like, I don't know, here's some I don't know.
Out of Pittsburgh, Pennsylvania, making his Oakland debut, Garrett Pelkoff.
Exactly. I'd have stood up and pitched. I'd about have done as well as they did. But
you could have. I would have
done better.
Up a Schwarbomb,
I say I can give up a nuke to Kyle Schwarber just as
yeah. Get me up there against Bryce Harper, dude. I got him.
Exactly. Yeah.
Pivoting from Oakland to Vegas and all that stuff, wherever Oakland's going to end up. Expansion's a big conversation, and there's certainly a list of cities that I think the league is going to look at first. And as far as who's more deserving of a team, what fan base makes sense, where they can get in, where they fit in, type of deal. So I'll open the floor to you guys. I think I know one place DG is going to say for sure, but where do you guys think makes sense for an MLB team? Where would you guys like to see a team get bought and brought into a new city?
DG, you going first? What do you think?
You go first.
All right. So I got 2 off the top of my head that consistently. So here's the 2 that I will say logically, and then the one that I hope because I just think it's a place. So the 2 that I say most logically would be Nashville, just because they are a major market in every other sport. You got the Titans, no NBA team there, but you got the Predators. Like every team, University of Tennessee, Vanderbilt's in Nashville, all those organizations super well supported. It's a growing town. It gives off a similar vibe to Vegas for me, where it is like it became famous for one thing, which was music, and it has since then expanded and become known as a really great place to live and
It's
raise
on
a
and
family.
popping, dude.
Exactly. It's yeah, which is what Vegas is. Like for a while, it seemed like Vegas was just casinos and whatever. But now, all the buzz of Vegas is actually a great place to raise a family, and it's really grown and changed its reputation. And to me, Nashville seems very similar. It's clearly a major league market. I also feel the same way about the Carolinas. You could put it really anywhere, like Raleigh or Charlotte. Um, Same deal. That's the Major League Baseball is the only league to not have a team in the Carolinas in any sort of regard. So for me, I think that has to make the most sense. And then my dream of a city is Vancouver.
Nice.
I love Vancouver as a city. I think it's a cool sports town. I love the Canucks, the Grizzlies. Everything about them was cool. I just think it would be a neat place that would embrace baseball. I think it's a crazy, rabid fan base that is really just looking for something to lock into. And I think an expansion organization up there would go crazy.
Yeah, I don't dislike either one of those picks. I love, and I was going to bring up Nashville as well. For so long, the Braves have been viewed as like the South's team.
Yeah.
That's good old boys baseball team. And I think adding Nashville to the mix would be awesome for a whole new generation of fans from the southeastern part of the United States. I think it'd be a great back and forth thing with Atlanta.
It's a built-in rival. Yeah,
you got to make it happen. And that's a white girl vacation dream right now is going to Nashville, so why not? DG, what do you got, dude? Also, Vancouver's dope.
Yeah, Vancouver is really cool. Kind of like out of the ballpark range, but Montana, where I'm from, we have no, major anything. That whole area is just missing that kind of culture. Bringing something in, I mean, yeah, probably out of pocket, but like it brings something to that area. You got, it's kind of like a forgotten area, sort of say. So
if you build it, they will come, DG. It seems pretty cool.
Exactly. Yeah.
Yeah, we got enough buzz from Yellowstone going on. There's enough transplants from California and Oregon.
It's on people's minds. Yeah,
exactly.
It certainly is. If they brought a team to Montana, do you think they'd probably go to Billings?
Either Billings or either Bozeman. Either one. Yeah. Billings is the biggest city in Montana, so that's the most logical. But I could see, Billings obviously, or Bozeman. Bozeman's really pretty. You got a college down there. It's growing. So.
And which one? So we have this conversation a lot, Garrett. Which one is on the pretty side of the state?
I'm gonna get hate for this, but it's gonna be Bozeman. This is the pretty side of the state. So.
Okay. Got mountains and trees and all that good stuff.
Yeah, it's got the Montana dream.
There we go. Okay. Do you think they'd be able to support one weather-wise? Do you think we'd be able to get enough months out of an open stadium?
That's the thing. That's where we come into. Is I don't think so with the weather. It would have to be a dome, obviously, but that would suck. But the weather would play a major factor.
Yeah. Well, as long as it's better than that juice field or whatever it is down in Tampa Bay. I hate looking at that so much.
It does. It hurts my eyes. Because also the fact that it's just I don't hate I do hate the retractable ones, not as much as I hate.
Yeah.
It's the domiest dome that exists. And that I don't like about it. It's so there's no natural light, and there has never been, and there never will be. And that upsets me. It just feels wrong.
It does feel wrong. And I love Tampa too. I've only been there once, but it was beautiful, and they deserve better as far as I'm concerned. If I was picking a team, I love the Nashville pick. I love Vancouver as well. I love Montana. Can't wait to go 4th of July. That's gonna be sweet.
You guys, if you don't shoot something, you're doing it wrong. That's the country. You guys are hunting elk or something cool.
Yeah.
Dude, when I'm rich and famous, I'll put a stadium up there and I'll have a shooting range right outside. So
there we go.
What I'm talking about.
Having been to a lot of the United States now and traveling, and especially I drove from Pittsburgh to Vegas, so I've seen a vast majority of the country that way. trying to think of what team makes sense, where I would like to see a team. And this is probably not on a lot of people's radars, but when I went to Salt Lake City last year, we went to a BYU basketball game, and all the stadiums are kind of situated like in their own corner on campus. And the backdrop in Provo for their baseball stadium and their football stadium is incredibly breathtaking. Um, and when you think about the fans that they have, the Utes have been on fire for the past couple of years. Hey, that was cool.
I don't know. Oh,
Didn't know that was gonna
nope,
happen.
I don't get the bubble. All right.
The
The AI loves Utah. That's what it is.
Yeah.
no, I can't do it twice. There we go. Okay.
There we go. There we go.
Yeah, I love Utah. I think it's an incredible place to be. That particular area of northern Utah is beautiful. Mountains, trees, the works. The Utes are a passionate college fan base for football. The Jazz are a passionate basketball franchise. I had a dude in basic training who loved John Stockton. Like he could not get enough of Jazz basketball. So I think a baseball team there would be awesome. If anything, it would look awesome. You know,
The backdrop would be cool.
the snow would be an interesting factor. I saw it was snowing at an MLS game today.
Yeah.
The field was covered, but I'm game. You know, if the
Mhm.
Rockies can make it work, which again, beautiful backdrop. I think a team is
Built-in rival as well.
Work.
Yep.
Yeah, that would be a great rivalry. Be another good West Coast team. And I'm hearing rumblings of Montreal again.
Yeah, that's cool.
The Expos, of course, had a long history of kind of being middle of the pack. I think there was a fan base there, certainly not strong enough to keep them in town, it seemed like the first time, but Montreal is on the rise once again. So, Gary, you know better than anybody as a hockey fan, the kind of sports fans.
I mean,
have.
they're nuts about the Canadians, and the fan base for the Expos was there. I mean, it was in the '90s, and well, I mean, they moved in the early 2000s, but the '90s were killer for Canadian sports. You lost the Winnipeg Jets, you lost the Quebec Nordiques, and that was when you really started to see the fall of the Montreal Expos, just because the Canadian dollar was so weak. I truly do think the fan support would be there. I know. To me, I just think baseball in Canada needs more than just the Blue Jays. I love the Blue Jays. I think, but I think Canada needs more than just one team. That's why I picked Vancouver, because I figure you got one in the East, one in the West, to kind of. But in the same way, you have English speaking Canada and French speaking Canada. If you have, if you go between Montreal and Toronto, I think, both could work.
Yeah, you got Letterkenny and you got Shoresy.
Exactly. That's right.
Nice. Well, on that topic of relocation, yeah, it was a tough time for Canada because they lost the Grizzlies as well in that time span.
That's right. Yeah, I think
from
of that,
Vancouver. In your guys' opinion, this is one of the hardest things in sports is relocating. Is there a team right now that you think maybe it's time to pull the plug on the city that they're in and start fresh somewhere else?
To me, I don't think they need to relocate. I just wish Tampa Bay would get serious, because I think they have an organization that, we talked about how Moneyball still exists, but that thinking needs to evolve. And I think the Rays have always been on the cutting edge of finding guys. The pitching staffs they've been able to build are incredible. So to me, I think the Rays as an organization are fantastic. And you look at their fans, you look at the Bucks, you look at the Lightning, like the city is a major league city, and it would be so foolish just to let them go. So I don't think the Rays should leave, but I think they need a stadium that isn't an affront to the eyes. And, that isn't truly horrible. So I think it, I just wish that they would build the stadium that makes sense, that clearly should be made clearly works, clearly makes sense in every regard. I don't want to see them move to Montreal and do that stupid split season thing they were talking about. It's dumb. You found something that worked. They were an expansion franchise in the 90s, and they've taken root. They've built an identity. Don't dig it up so quickly because you're not getting your way with local and state government. If a taxpayer funded stadium may not be in the works, there's other ways around it. It just, to me, it's avoidable, but they're the one that seems to be the most reasonable.
Yeah.
So for that reason, I would say Tampa Bay, and I hope they relocate to like down the street in Tampa Bay with a new stadium.
Yeah.
maybe Orlando.
Yeah, exactly. Exactly. Just, yeah.
No doubt. Thoughts, Chief?
No, yeah, I 100% agree. That's the only team I can think of right now. I mean, they just need something. Give them something.
Yeah, no, I agree. When I was thinking about it, I was thinking of just like historic, like little brother kind of teams, and I think like in basketball, for example, the Clippers should get out of Los Angeles. Okay, it's just I know there's fans there. I know there's excitement there, especially with the team that they have right now. They're not the number one attraction for basketball. And for that reason, they're like the fifth most popular or sixth most popular team in the city. For that reason, if they were like, hey, guys, we got to pack it up. It's not working out anymore. If the White Sox decided to leave Chicago, I'd be very happy for them. I'd be sad to lose that brand because the Sox hats are awesome, gangster rap staple, and I would miss that. But they're not the Cubs. That is the fact of the matter. And I know it's a South Side, North Side type of thing. Either you're Cubs or you're White Sox. But really, I know most people are Cubs, and I think they could far exceed expectations if they had their own city to call home.
It's funny, Jaiman, when you started that sentence, I was like, yep, I agree. The Anaheim Angels should move.
That's exactly what I was about to say.
And then you said the White Sox, and I was like, wait a minute. That also makes sense.
But the Angels, too, that's a good pick as well.
It is.
They have recent success, but yeah.
Or at least take a more definitive stance on the identity and stop being from Los Angeles and Anaheim or California, or like just simply pick a city or state that you are from.
Right. Yeah, absolutely. I feel for the little brothers. I feel for the Angels. I don't have a single piece of Dodgers memorabilia. I have a couple of Angels hats. Okay. I don't have any White Sox hats yet, but I hate the Cubs, and for good reason. And I feel for the White Sox. So I know some people that we work with have called them ghetto trash. I don't agree with that sentiment, but he was passionate about the Cubs. So what are you going to do?
Okay.
So yeah, but
Nah.
moving on from expansion and relocating and all that good stuff. There's ball games happening, boys. It's springtime.
Oh,
yeah.
The air is
lot.
fresh. Sun is shining. Except for Vegas, we were at the inaugural Las Vegas Baseball Classic yesterday and got rained at.
Oh, Jay, it's 70 degrees here. It's beautiful. It really is. It's unseasonably warm. It is lovely. Winter is gone. Punxsutawney Phil saw his shadow or didn't see his shadow. I don't even remember which one. But it's an early spring, and we're loving it.
Gotta love it. And with spring comes baseball. And with baseball comes spring training, which is one of my favorite times of the year. I'm so locked in. This is a great time for Bucks Dugout on SB Nation. We were top 10 in our site competition the other day, so we're making it happen. Guys, let's talk about some expectations for the season and some reactions from what we've seen so far. Garrett, I'll kick it to you first.
I mean, it's hard not to just simply be like, yeah, the Dodgers are going to win, because they seem to find a way to choke everything away.
Yeah.
Besides the fake COVID years, but the roster's loaded with the Dodgers. I mean, it's if Thanos was a baseball team, by God, it'd be the Los Angeles Dodgers. But, to me, they're the team to watch. With Ohtani, you may be witnessing the greatest baseball player to ever walk the planet.
Well,
and so, I mean, at the very least of this generation, the fact that he's able to, be a two-way star like he is, there's something historic to be said about that. I mean, it's, that you may not see another one in our lifetime, unless, of course, it becomes a trend. So to me, they're must-see TV for that reason. But I'm more excited because the NL Central is wide open, boys. So,
hey, it's going to be competitive.
It's going to be competitive. I'm not saying, but I'm saying a little bit. We're in the mix. As a Pirate fan, I'm super excited. Excited for a whole year of O'Neal Cruz. Love to see what Mitch Keller does. Catcher is still a question mark whether Henry Davis can actually do it or not. But I love the outfield. I love Jack Swinsky. I love Brian Reynolds. Kutch again, even as a veteran. I like the staff they've assembled, or the team they've assembled. They need another starter. But other than that, I mean, the bullpen going from Chapman to Holderman to Bednar is lights out from inning 7 on. So I'm really intrigued. I think to me, it depends on how some of the lower end prospects turn out and the ones that are pro ready. Jay, I know your boy Quinn Priester. Is he a major leaguer? I don't know. We're gonna find out. I hope so. Hold on. Let me check and see what his ERA was last year.
Oh no! Don't do it to me. Please
No,
don't.
let's just see. Because it was shocking.
Because his ERA for 3 innings is incredible.
The first 3, and then the wheels. Let's see. We are looking at career regular season a 774. Good gravy. Well, nowhere to go it up. Anyway, I am very excited for them. The continuing storylines in Oakland, I'm interested to see. My player to watch this year is Ellie De La Cruz. I want to see what he actually is, because when he came in, it was like, oh my God, who is this Hercules that walks among us? And then he became a 240 hitter out of nowhere, and that's kind of what he stayed. So I'm really interested to see him. But other than that, it's a little early yet, but I'm still intrigued by a lot of things coming into the year.
It is a little early yet. TG, what's that scene in Major League? They're doing the commercial. We're contenders now,
Yeah.
That's almost how it feels in Pittsburgh. Maybe not contenders for a title, but contenders for the NL Central. I'd be okay with that as well. TG, your thoughts on spring training so far and what you think of the season ahead of us?
I'm excited. It's beginning, new season beginning. Like Garrett said, I'm excited for the Dodgers to see what Shea can do. That's the main thing. And they're the number 1 team to watch right now. With his he had a huge contract, and he's gonna show up. He's gonna show up.
Yeah, no, I think it's gonna be awesome. And this is probably my last year in Vegas, so I'm trying to hit all the California ballparks. And the Dodgers are certainly on there. I'll probably have to pay an arm and a leg to get a ticket and get protection from the Crips and Bloods. Hopefully not too many issues on that, because it's well documented. I'm an East Coast legend, but I'm a West Coast gangster. So I got to be careful. But yeah, spring training has been incredible so far. It's been about a week and a half now of games being on. The Dodgers have been heavily talked about and documented and premiered. They are the team to watch, certainly. I'm excited as well. Juan Soto on the Yankees part of me. That's going to be exciting with him and Aaron Judge and the team that they're now rebuilding to a full healthy roster. They're always a team to watch, in my opinion. The Braves, we're going to see what Acuna's got going on with his knee injury, but he's the reigning MVP. I think Atlanta's going to be very good again. Philadelphia's going to be very good. And Pittsburgh, I think we're going to be in the mix.
We're going to be in the mix. Fellas, I want your opinion. To me, of all those big market teams, somehow I think Atlanta and the team they've assembled is the most likable somehow. Maybe just because it is the smaller of the big markets and just that their players and their talent is more homegrown. But for me, like the vibes are just simply different. Would you go from either LA and New York with Otani and Soto? Like there's something about the Braves where I'm just like, they're fun. Like I hope they win. You know?
Yeah.
I don't have like there is like if there is a New York LA World Series, I will be a small part of me will break. But if Atlanta ends up in, that's fun. Who doesn't enjoy that?
It's fun, and we work with a couple of Braves fans, and for a while, I was obsessed with Outkast and a lot of their early music videos. They didn't have furs and chains yet. All they had was Kangol and Braves jerseys. And Gary, you went black. Where'd you go, bud? Oh, we'll rejoin Gary when he gets back. But to make a long story short, the Braves are fun. They're cool. I'm not going to root for them. There he is. He's back.
Sorry, I just took my one headphone out. I have two of them in. I took one out because it was hurting my ear, and it broke the system.
Well, someone's going to be like, that was poor editing on White's part, but, we'll figure it out in
It
post.
happens, it's your fault, not mine.
It's mine. Talking about the Braves, though, Gary, and likability, I think I don't want to say underdog status with them. I mean, they're certainly the biggest team south of the Mason-Dixon line. But I don't know if you've ever heard this story, but Pastor Ron hates, and he doesn't hate anything. He hates the Atlanta Braves for what they did for what they did to him in the 90s. Yeah.
Well,
for that reason alone, I'm out. I can't.
Let it be known, I did not know that, and I will ride with Pastor Ron Jaworski till the day I die. So, the Atlanta Braves are hereby canceled.
Yeah, no. So as far as the Braves go, I hope they have a nice season, just not better than us because I hate the Braves. So, DG, I don't know if you feel similarly, but I think I've made my stance clear.
Mm-hmm.
No, yeah,
I've completely changed my mind in the past 30 seconds with that piece of information now. So you know what? I
Well, on that note, I love the Braves.
All right.
No. No, they're a fun team to watch, and they're kind of like that unsung hero in a way. And not many people are, looking at them, but yeah.
We'll see what they can do, dude. Whatever,
Yeah.
I've got a couple sites pulled up, some projected stat leaders and standings for this year. So I'll switch over to that real quick. You guys can't see it, unfortunately. I'm going to figure that out in later episodes. But some projected stat leaders. We've got Acuna with 43 home runs. I don't hate that pick. I think 43 is a little pedestrian for what we've seen these days, but he's the reigning
is this
MVP.
Across the majors or just the National League?
This is across baseball.
I don't think that will lead the Yankees in home runs this year, but maybe.
Yeah, no, we'll see. If it's a healthy year for Soto and Judge, I think they can go as far as they want.
Yeah.
On the flip side, they're predicting Shohei Ohtani will lead baseball in RBIs with 122. Obviously, he'll be fulfilling DH responsibilities full time this season. He will not be pitching at all, so he's bound to have a great year at the plate. Garrett, little love to the Oakland A's. Esteury Ruiz, very fun prospect last year that we got to see, is projected to lead baseball in steals with 53.
He's going to do that.
Just piggybacking off of that, dude. That guy's an athlete. That guy is incredible. What do you think about the success he's having already, the projected success he's going to have, and do you think he stays with the team if they move?
I mean, so to me, I don't even know where he ranks across the league. I just know for a team that has nothing,
right,
he's something. You know, it very well may be, you know, Nate McLeod being the best player on the 2007 Pirates, where it's like, well, I guess somebody had to be. But he, if nothing else, is exciting. He's going to steal a lot of bases. He's flying around in the outfield. He's certainly talented. You know, he has I almost think of him. I think what he big picture projects to be is maybe what Billy Hamilton was supposed to be.
Mm.
You have a guy where if you ball four puts him on third base because he's just that talented, where if you let him get on, he's going to move. Especially, you know, with the way the rules are going with the bigger bases, I think he's a problem. I just hope, you know, if he can maintain a quality eye at the plate, he'll be perfectly fine. I don't think he's ever going to be a guy that can carry a team to a World Series, but I think he can be a key contributing piece on a World Series team, and I think he can be the best player on a bad team. I just think that's kind of where his cap is, so to speak.
Yeah, well, you know, we'll see, but certainly shout out for the little guy. I love Ruiz's game.
He is fun.
Yeah, and
he's got heart.
If he can sniff just like a sliver of the Ricky Henderson comparisons, then he'll be all right. You know,
yeah,
he'll be all right, and there might be some exciting Oakland baseball this year.
Got something to root for.
Yeah. They're projecting Juan Soto leads the league in OBP. Pardon me. Holy cow, can't read. Jordan Alvarez from the Astros is projected to lead the league in slugging, 592. That's terrifying.
Truly.
Bo Bichette from the Blue Jays, 179 hits. Wyatt Langford from the Rangers, 41 doubles. If he makes the jump this early, that would be incredible for Wyatt Langford because he's one of the top prospects in baseball right now. And he's had some action already in spring where he has been lights out at the plate. He can do whatever he wants there.
Yeah, it's a little early to think he's going to lead the league in it, but I wouldn't be surprised.
He's got to make the jump first. So
right, exactly.
But,
yeah.
Based on that, I think the Rangers are going to send him up as fast as they can.
Oh yeah, yeah.
A couple more. We got Corbin Carroll from the D-backs. They're projecting he has 9 triples. I wouldn't be surprised by that. Edwin Diaz from the Mets and Camilo Doval from the Giants. Tied projections right now, 35 saves.
Give me Bednar.
It's going to be Bednar. We all know that.
It's going to be Bednar. Yeah. Once the Pirates learn to get a lead, it's over.
And lastly, Luis Castillo from the Mariners with a 3.27 ERA. I think, and I've been saying this for a while because I am a Seattle supporter. Not the biggest fan in the world, but I have family.
A sympathizer.
That What's that?
I said a sympathizer.
I'm certainly a sympathizer, yes. We have family that lives in Seattle. I love the city, and I have been the biggest Ichiro fan for a while now. I think I have more Ken Griffey Jr. jerseys than any Pirates jersey. So I'm excited for them. I think they're going to have a great year, and he's going to be a great pitcher this year.
I love Castillo. Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah, he's going to be exciting. And then we have some projected standings as well. We've been talking about the NL Central, how it's going to be wide open. It's going to be one of those grinded out years for a lot of these divisions, but a lot of them more cut and dry than others. The AL East, the Yankees are projected to get 91 wins and lead that, with the Sox coming in last with 82 wins. That's another tough division. It has been competitive. I don't think Baltimore's getting enough respect. I think they're going to have another great year and another building block type of year, but I'm interested to see what happens, who comes out of that division alive.
Yeah, to me, I think Baltimore takes the top wild card spot. I think they're truly fantastic, but I don't know. It just all depends on how it all gels in New York because there's just so much pressure there, and you know there's both pressure, but they are also 1 or 2 injuries away from it all just rolling downhill. And I could see, I could see it becoming a disaster quickly. But
yeah, I mean,
but they're also a juggernaut.
right.
Yeah.
DJ,
Sure.
you wear a Yankees hat almost everywhere you go, shamelessly. And Tony's been talking about how good he hopes the Yankees are going to be, but he's also been talking about how last year they were, just riddled with injuries.
Yeah, exactly. I mean, it's typical. I mean, expecting a good year, but it's that injury bug. We got to watch out for that.
Yeah, it's tough. But if New York can be in the mix, then they'll be just fine. The AL Central, I'm going to skip over because that's the worst division in all of baseball. And
It has been for so long. It's like,
yeah, the Twins, the Guardians, the Tigers, the Royals, sorry, DG, and the White Sox. Like,
No, yeah.
it's not a good look.
Nope.
The AL West, I'm hoping will be as competitive as they project it to be. Oakland, where do you think they're going to finish, Garrett?
is there a spot lower than last? I mean, I'd love for them to find some success, but to me, it's a long way.
It's 67 wins even. I think is generous. I wouldn't be surprised if that's a 100-loss season.
I think, yeah.
Yeah, they have the reigning World Series champions finishing third, the Texas Rangers with 85 wins, the Seattle Mariners with 85 wins as well, and the Astros with 93 wins leading that division. The Angels, of course, this year without Ohtani, and I think that's going to be another cellar-dwelling team for a couple of years, unfortunately.
It's a shame what happened to Mike Trout. It's never going to happen, is it?
No, it's not.
It's so sad.
It's going to be one of those deals where he's going to have to, at one point, he's have to be like, hey, this isn't working, dude. He's going to go down as maybe the best hitter of this generation, best player, period. And it's going to be with zero hardware, zero playoffs.
Yeah.
It's tough, but
yeah, he'll look real weird in pinstripes in about 3 or 4 years.
Hopefully none of that.
I would hope not, but it is a fear.
It is certainly a fear. Another exciting division, the NL East. The Braves are projected to win 99 games, which is currently a tied projection with the Dodgers to lead all of baseball. The Phillies with 86 wins, the Mets with 80, Marlins with 79, Nationals with 63. I think that's generous for the Nationals as well. I think that could be a 100-loss season.
Yeah.
If the Mets can figure it out, Garrett or DG, whoever wants to chime in, do you think they can right their ways of the past, or do you think they're kind of stuck in a bad situation?
I mean, to me, that division is so loaded that it's not like they're playing in the AL Central and all they really have to do is just figure it out and walk into the playoffs. It's arguably the best division in baseball. I mean, the AL East is also loaded, but it's obviously besides Washington. But yeah, they don't count right now. But you have Philly and you have Atlanta, so like even to take a step, you might. It almost reminds me of
the big step.
Well, but it just almost reminds me of like the 14, 15 Pirates, where like you might be a top 10 team in baseball, but you're also the third best team in your own division.
Right.
So, good luck. Like that's kind of how it goes sometimes, and they're kind of caught in the middle of that logjam.
Yeah, no doubt. Thoughts, DG?
Yeah, no, I agree.
Big boy Nets.
Yeah, no, yeah, no, I agree. It's like it's a tough decision. I mean, you can only do so much, and we'll see what happens.
We'll see. Sometimes the pockets are only so deep. NL Central. This is, I think, going to be, along with probably the AL West. Yeah, I think so. I think this will be the most competitive division. Garrett, they have the Pirates finishing last with 74 wins.
Good God. Please no.
They have the Cardinals making the jump to first with 85, followed by the Cubs with 82, Reds with 79, and Brewers with 79. I don't like the Reds. I can't stand them, but I think they're going to have a great year. I think they've kind of come full circle on this rebuild that they've been doing, and they're poised to win now. I feel the same way for the Pirates. I feel the same way for the Cardinals. Even the Cubs and the Brewers, who I think are going to be a little more stagnant than those teams, have built contenders in the offseason. And I think that's going to be a grinded out kind of division. It's going to be tough baseball.
That division, you could show me anywhere 1-5 and I would believe it.
Yeah.
It's a very weird division in that way, where there is no front runner and there is no one that would shock me in last place, really. It's a weird one, which in a wild card division with a ton of wild card prospects, it's what excites me about the Pirates is because there's so many question marks across that whole division, and we have a ton of question marks on our roster that, with the right roll of the dice, look at us in October, but hard to tell otherwise.
Yeah, no, I think it's going to be very interesting. It's, similar to the AFC North in football with Steelers, Bengals, Ravens, and Browns. Anyone can win that division on any given day, except for Cleveland, of course.
Always, never Cleveland. They're cursed.
I think it's going to be very interesting. And I think the pieces that we've added in the offseason, plus the minor league talent that we have, I think it's going to be interesting for the Pirates. If we can maintain a healthy roster, which we struggled with last year after a really hot start, I think sky's the limit for this team. And probably a World Series in like a year or two. So,
what role do you think Skeens plays?
Skeens is going to be in he's going to be in Double-A for about a week, and then he's going to go to Triple-A for a game, and then he'll be starting in Pittsburgh by beginning of May. Yeah, I think. And not trying to get canceled on the first podcast. I did write a story that I think we should sign Trevor Bauer. Could get him for league minimum, and he is a capable starter who would round out our rotation. But if it's not him, if it's not anyone else on the free agent market, I think Blake Snell is kind of past our price range at this point. So probably not a guy like that. It's going to be a guy like Ortiz who's going to have to step up, or Priester, which unfortunately I don't see as big of a fan as I am, and I've been following him for a long time. He's got some bigger things to work out before he's a big league starter. I could see Skeens being that last guy in the rotation, stepping up and making it happen early.
Yeah, you'd like to think between Ortiz and Contreras, there's a guy there that works, and that they can allow Skeens to kind of get some innings, even a Triple-A. Like, to me, ultimately, if you can get all three of them to work, that's the entire back half of the rotation. But to start, I think letting him gain as much experience in the minor leagues as possible is what makes the most sense.
Yeah, but and even not if they fast track him, which just based on things that I've seen, Derek Shelton say, pardon me, I think they're going to be as patient as possible, and it's going to be really up to Skeens when he says he's ready and looks ready. I don't think that's going to take very long, though. Beginning of May.
Yeah.
So one more division to roll through, the NL West, which unfortunately for the rest of the competition, the Dodgers are slated to absolutely kill. They're projected to have 99 wins. The Diamondbacks, of course, just made a trip to the World Series. That's a team that I really like the way they constructed and built. I can see them having another great year. They're projected to have 85 wins. The Giants missed out big on the free agency market, obviously. They're going to come in third with 78 wins. The Padres with 77, and the Rockies with 63. Again, generous, I think, in that regard.
Yeah.
But
feels low for the Dodgers. I think that's a 100-win team.
I think it could be. I mean, this is going to be really historic. And just talk about historic signings and players. Ohtani and Yamamoto have arrived, and they are, looks like, here to stay. The little action that they've had in spring training so far has been great. Yamamoto's only pitched 2 innings, and it was lights out. I don't think I've ever seen batters get fooled that bad by a splitter,
Mm-hmm.
I mean, swinging the stuff that's in the ground, hitting the dirt, and he's got them, So that's going to be a really exciting team. And just wanted to get your guys' take on their debuts and the season that they're set to have with the Dodgers.
To me, the storyline is just going to be, so Yamamoto, to me, he looks like he's going to be their ace. I think that staff is
Mhm.
loaded, but he's so well supported by that organization, top to bottom. I feel like he won't be the story, especially because like he's a guy coming over from the NPB, so the star. I think he's almost more of the star in the making, whereas Otani is here and has been here as the face of the sport. Really, it sucks that he's not going to pitch. I wonder if we see him pitch in October just because they need him. But I it's almost like, what does this next chapter in his book look like? Because he's been so dominant to this point. It's like, what's next is, how do you maintain the success? Because like the question now is longevity. Like he already looks like
Mhm.
he already looks like an all-time great. The question is, for how many years do you do it, or do we kind of leave looking back at a short and really amazing prime, which obviously is going to be fantastic this year, but how does he rebound from that injury to kind of, what legacy does he leave with the Dodgers versus the Angels, which ultimately was he didn't win anything.
Yeah.
Great regular season player that put up amazing numbers. I mean, obviously we'll always have the World Baseball Classic, but like, what do his actual, like, in a place where he can actually win something of substance, what does he look like? What is playoff Otani? We don't know.
Yeah,
Yeah,
absolutely.
yeah, I agree 100%. I mean, we don't know. It's hard to say.
It's hard to say, but it's looking like it's going to be fireworks. I think that, again, that's going to be the team to watch. Obviously, that's
Mm-hmm.
what a lot of people are tuning into already. Just in spring ball. Unfortunately, they're also tuning into the huge Fanatics jersey controversy, which is taking the internet by storm. And I'm one of those guys. If I'm going to show up for an event or a party or whatever, I gotta have a fresh fit on. Okay, DG knows, Garrett knows, Jersey aficionado over here, as are my co-hosts. And I wanted a new Pirates jersey. I'm gonna be there for opening day. It's gonna be the first time I've ever done it, and I'm hesitant because the quality is just so bad. They're on their new mission with Fanatics taking over manufacturing. Garrett, I'm gonna let you take the lead on this because you brought it up, and I know you know ball, and I know you know jerseys. So take it away.
So this is frustrating to me because I am as every bit as big a hockey fan as I am a baseball fan, and Fanatics will be taking over for the NHL, I believe, next year, if not the following year. I'm not sure off the top of my
Hmm.
head, but yeah, with um, the question has always been the quality, because for years they manufactured all like the fan replica jerseys and the quality was crap. Misspellings, logos stitched on weird, like just any mistake you can really think of. So the general reputation that Fanatics has is that they're cheap. Um, but we were reassured by Nike and by the
Right.
NHL. They signed on with Fanatics that the quality of the uniforms will be at the same level it's always been, and that's clearly not the case. You have these weird like arching last names that seem small. The stitching is weird. The problem with the pants. It's just clearly a disaster, and it's a bad look for the league, and it's a really horrible look for the company. Um, because ultimately, for these all of these players are walking billboards for you. And the fact is, it's something that you shouldn't have to think about. For years, how often did you think of Majestic or Nike, whichever company?
Mm-hmm.
How often did you think about the quality of the uniforms? You never did, because it's such a simple expectation that the ball players on the field, not even the fans in the stands, but the players on the field should be wearing uniforms that fit, appear to be stitched properly, and are made of quality materials, and that's clearly not the case.
Yeah, aren't
So
see through.
yeah, aren't see-through, don't look fake. The jerseys that the major league players are wearing look fake, and it's strange because there's no one really to blame outside of Fanatics themselves. I mean, you can't blame Major League Baseball. The second they were rolled out, there was negative feedback that Major League Baseball responded to. You could be mad at Nike, but the ultimate culprit is Fanatics for being comfortable releasing an inferior product that is clearly inferior. And some of the responses have been to not to say gaslight, but to try and imply that these are quality products that are just simply made differently and this is a new material. It's just simply not true. It's ugly. It's bad. I have eyes. I can tell.
Yeah.
And it's been shocking to say the least. And it's going to be interesting to see what makes it to actual opening day. Some of the complaints, like with the pants being able to not being able to be tailored, are confusing because like these are the best athletes in the world. You won't tailor their pants. Like, what
Yeah.
are you doing? Like, I don't get it. So I don't know. To me, it's a really, really bad look. As a hockey fan, it's gravely concerning to the NHL. And I mean, Major League Baseball doesn't seem to be playing games about this, but it is concerning that such a clearly poor product could be allowed to even take the field at any point.
It is concerning, and of course now, especially in recent years, this is a global sport. This is on a global scale that we're talking. There's more eyes on the game now than ever, and it's not a good look. The jerseys are not good, just from a fan perspective and merchandise perspective. The prices went up for cheaper products, which blows my mind. It's not good for the athletes. It reminds me a lot of when the UFC partnered with Reebok, and they had nothing but issues with fighter kits and wardrobe malfunctions, let's say, names being misspelled, what have you. It's not a great look. Now, there's not too much we could do about it as fans, unfortunately, because I want that jersey, but I can't get it because it's just, I'm not gonna be out there looking like a clown. There's plenty of people who wanted Yamamoto jerseys when he got signed. Plenty of people who wanted Shohei jerseys when he went to the Dodgers, and that's going to take a dip as well. The league is losing money on this, absolutely.
Because it just looks so silly. Yamamoto, his last name is a rainbow over the number.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah.
Name bar. It's confusing.
It's not good. I don't like the screen printed logos on them. I saw the Mariners. It looked ridiculous. One team has lucked out on this, and DJ, I'm gonna let you take the lead on it because you're a fan. The Kansas City Royals are exempt from this New Jersey policy. If you want to explain that further.
Yeah, so I was reading today a little bit more on it. Actually, they're the only team that waived it from the fanatics. So they will have the large lettering, like instead of all the smaller lettering that's circled. Let me pull up the. Let me see here. Pull it up here.
Still going to be bad for fans, but at least the Royals players will be comfortable.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah. I mean, some of it is it truly, and especially for like I don't know. It's almost like there's no solution, but just to simply fix it and just go back. Like, there's no. You can't try to convince people that this is good. Like it's that bad and broken that it's just like, well, what do you do? Just fix it. Like, I don't know what you had, because it's truly as simple as what you had last year was fine. Like what I understand. X is a growing company that seems to be spending a lot of money in a lot of places to get these contracts, but it hasn't
by
worked
golly,
out.
we deserve better.
But yeah, exactly. It's just like they just seem so desperate to infect people with their crap product. It's kind of confusing. I mean, you would think they would almost be more willing to take this contract seriously enough to, create proper uniforms for Major League Baseball. It's not, they did not get it almost feels like this would be upsetting if this was like some high A league that signed a weird equipment sponsorship, but instead it's the biggest league in the world.
Right. You got that story, DG?
Yeah, but it was just kind of like just basic stuff, really, about the waiver and just different. The lettering mainly is the main thing. They're gonna follow suit with how all the other uniforms are. It's a see through and everything.
Mm-hmm.
The other thing is just the main thing is just gonna be the lettering.
Oh, see, I thought they got out of it completely.
Yeah. I was reading it a little bit more, and they exempted from that. So,
well, it's a step in the right direction at least. And hopefully, more teams will follow suit, and it'll just be a snowball effect for the rest of it. Because it's not going to look good.
It's at some point. It's like I said. It just feels like the only solution is just to go back. There's no just basically fix what you made because what you made is broken.
Yeah, no doubt. No doubt. But regardless of all that, there's plenty to be excited about. Ladies and gentlemen, this is small market baseball.
Yeah,
This is what
live.
you tune into.
Yeah.
We're making it happen, okay?
Mhm.
We're excited to be talking ball. We're going to be doing it once every other week. There's going to be daily content up on our social media on Facebook and Instagram with news posts and trades and signs and injury reports, whatever. We're going to have it all. And this is your new favorite baseball podcast, without a doubt. So, boys, thank you for joining me on the first episode. I hope you guys had as good of a time as I did, and I can't wait for the
Absolutely.
next one.
Yeah, for sure.
Sounds good.
Until next time, ladies and gentlemen, this is Small Market Baseball. Small time combos for big time fans, where birds of a feather talk ball together. Peace. Hey!